Okay, where's the chicken dinner? Good morning, everyone. What a delight to feel your presence, feel your energy, and to open ourselves in the surroundings that we're in so that we can experience a greater connectedness with life. So, just as a little bit of history, this area reportedly is a place where Native Americans used to gather. And then following that, there was a trading post that was set up here in this location. So there's history to it. And if you allow yourself to tune in, you can get a feel for some of the lingering energies that are still here. So when you take time afterwards, if you want, walk around, open yourselves up, let yourselves get a feel. Then, of course, more recently, back in 17, we had the deliberate fires that were set, and they came up and devastated much of the surrounding forest. But down through there and then toward the compound, everything was protected. And we attribute that to the blessings of Spirit who worked with us in making sure that that was left intact. So here we are. So, very brief history. And as you can tell, filled with human endeavor. So, this time that we have been away, we call this our sabbatical time. And it's usually a time that prior to the COVID-19 disruption, we did a lot of things. We're busy people. I guess we take after our aunt, brothers, and sisters. We're very busy people. But this time it was a definite distinction in that, of course, we were visited by other contrivances and the fires that were set and that swept through, and the storms, the thunder, the lightning, the excitement of it all, and then, of course, the resulting climate change atmosphere. So, for the past 39 years, Spirit has been working with us to help us to realize that things are not the way they appear to be. And we have heard in many instances and repeatedly of what's really happening, and pay attention, realize that it's important for you to be present and to be conscious instead of an unconscious participant in life. So, like I said, this time has been a time of discovery. And I say it that way because a lot of people in our community have been following the leads of Spirit and have been going beyond mainstream media to seek out information as to what really is happening. And a lot of this information has come forward, been shared with the community, and I don't know how many of you have been able to tune into this and see, my goodness me, this is what's happening, this is what's happening, here's another possibility. And I invite you, realize that what mainstream media is presenting to us is nothing but a deliberate lie. It is deliberately intended to take you away from what is actually happening so that you become an unconscious participant, and that the whole intent of it is that humanity becomes enslaved. Now that I brought that to your attention, I know, but you know, I say it to you, and yes, I want you to laugh, but I also want you to realize we came into this life to live it and live it and live it to the best of our ability. Just believing what's being told to us is to our own detriment. So what has been brought forward to me in many instances during the sabbatical has been a confirmation. And I, like you, have read stuff, have seen stuff, and I've gone, oh my God, I can't believe it. But then again, of course I can believe it. And then again, I say, all right, yes, I've been hearing this for years. And yes, it's happening. So, here we are. Our awareness of human history is extremely limited. We do not know how long humanity has been on the planet. I mean, if you look at certain books that are purported to be authentic authorities, they say we've only been here 6,000 years. Whoa. Okay, whoa. And that's not even for this group of humanity. I'm talking about ancient humanity that goes back to other civilizations that predate us. So if you look at that and you begin to open yourself up, you consider the possibility we've been here a long time under many guises, many lives, many opportunities. And here we are now in this life with this opportunity. And as we can witness what's going on about us is completely different than anything any of us has ever experienced in our lifetime. When I was a kid growing up, when you were a kid growing up, none of this stuff was happening that we were aware of. We were pretty much la-di-da kids, and we enjoyed our la-di-da lives, but whoa, that's over. That's changed. So, humanity, you might could say that right now humanity has fallen ill, and we need to heal. Now, when I speak of humanity, I don't mean somebody who lives down the block or in the next state or even the next country. I'm talking about all of us collectively. And what we need to do is see if we are ill, what is the nature of our illness, and if that is the case, how is it affecting me personally? And what can I do so far as my own healing? And then so far as then, how can I help in the healing of humanity? Well, of course, the first thing is heal yourself. All of us think, okay, I've got a pretty healthy lifestyle. I eat well, I could eat better. I try to drink water, good liquids, breathe good air. Well, already we've compromised ourselves in several different ways, or we have been compromised because of what's going on with our atmosphere. And I invite you, do the research to study and to find out how your atmosphere has been deliberately being compromised for at least the last 60 years. Right now we know of it so far as the contrails, and we come to realize that they are deliberately put there, and there's an excuse that's being used. Oh, we want to try to control the solar influence. Well, you must look again and see what we're being told is not always the truth, and as a matter of fact, many times is a deliberate misdirection. So if that's the case, then you see that what's being generated up there has got to fall down by gravity. So it's affecting the atmosphere that we breathe, it's affecting the ground, the plants that grow, it's affecting all life everywhere, animals, birds, human beings. So please look at this and say, what can I do to improve my health? And I say to you, look and see that this is your responsibility. So with information, then it translates into your ability to respond in a positive way so that you give yourself the things that you need to ensure that your health is better. One of the things that I've read about recently that just astonished me was the increase of dementia that is happening in worldwide population, and especially amongst women. I really do love you girls. I do. I think humanity is so blessed to have you on board. Without you, we would not be as we are. But I say to you, value your own well-being and take care of yourself and see what you can do to do that. Okay, I'll just mention one ingredient that is so detrimental to our mental health, and that's aluminum. It's being broadcast in the atmosphere. It's being put into the fertilizers. It's being put everywhere. Deodorants. Okay, so no aluminum. Okay, so just to give you an idea of this and then to see, okay, here we are. Where else could we be? This is our planet. But that doesn't give us the right to treat it as if it were here for our enjoyment only. We're a part of it. We're not the reason for it. And we have become so disconnected that we abuse the place where we live to the extent that we are threatening our own continuance. Now, maybe you don't think that's such a bad thing. Maybe you have grown to believe, well, a few less of us might be a good idea. Then there'd be more for me to eat. I might have better opportunity for jobs. I might find this, that, and the other. And you're missing the point. You see, this is part of our illness, to where we don't respect ourselves and we don't respect each other. Discovery. Another part of the discovery that I'm bringing up here so far as our beginning and our opening so that we can engage in this in a togetherness way is that with some of the information that has been sent out, and I'm making reference now to a specific one where it showed in the dark from some source off the coast of California, a laser beam being shot from above the ocean into the forest up in Northern California, setting them ablaze. Confirmation that these fires are not a natural result. You could say, sure, it's a natural result of a beam being sent there to ignite the forest, but look and see now. This is happening. Now, you know that there has to be a reason for it, and it cannot be a healthy reason for the benefit and well-being of all concerned. So, without getting into what actually is the motivation behind this, look and see, this is the result. We're experiencing it right now. Look out there. See that? That's smoke. So, you take this into account and you see, all right, humanity, some of us are willingly being a part of the destruction of our planet. You may say that in yourself you have a healthy relationship, you love nature, you feed the birds, you feed the animals, you take care of your garden and so on. Wonderful. But do look and see, when I talk of humanity, I'm talking about us as individual cells of a larger living entity that we need to take into account and see, how can I help in this healing process? Well, one of the things is to look at yourself and say, what do I need to heal? What thoughts do I think? What emotions do I generate? What is my daily activity? Do I even pay attention to myself enough to realize this? How much of my time on a day basis is spent in unconsciousness? How much of my time is devoted to becoming more consciously involved in living life? You see, these are the basic parameters upon which healing then can begin to manifest. So when I speak of being present, I mean of being here now. Right here in this moment. As a matter of fact, now is all we ever have. How do we fill our now? So I am encouraging you to pay attention so that you can grow in this way and realize my now is have, how am I filling it, how am I living it? Then we come to relationships. Of course, here we are. We're in a relationship right now. And I thank you for choosing to be in relationship with me. You stimulate me. You help me. Sometimes you remind me where I need to really help myself more. Sometimes you compliment me, which causes me to feel good in that what I am putting across as being recognized is coming back to me to stimulate me to continue living what I believe to be true, what I find to be valuable. So we help each other in this. So I'm saying to you, relationships, ours together, who you choose to relate to, what you choose to do in your relationship to them is of paramount importance. You may think it isn't right now, or you may feel even reluctant to come across with your truth because you will feel that you will be so met with resistance. I get it. We have to figure out, all right, what do we do and what do we not do? I'd like to eat. So when I go to the grocery store, even though I believe it's totally ridiculous, I'll wear the mask just to get in, get what I need, and get out. But so far as having the fearful attending awareness that if I don't wear that mask, that I am subjecting myself to a terrible disease. Well, the terrible disease that I'm subjecting myself to is fear. And that's exactly why this is being put into place. To stimulate all of us to live from a fear-based consciousness, because it is at such a lower rate of vibration that it actually stimulates our immune system to overactivate itself and to cause havoc. We're in a fight or flight mode all of the time, burning ourselves out, causing ourselves to be diseased, so that when we wear a mask, we're exhaling what should be being released into a mask that is being trapped and brought back into our bodies, again, adding to that compromise. So please do realize this. Relationships. Now we get to the one that I was discussing with Sarah. We were laying in bed and just about to go to sleep, and we're talking about this, that, and the other, and saying, my relationship to God is something that has come and gone throughout my life. As a kid, I didn't have a consciousness of God. My mother, bless her soul, no matter where we lived, made me go to a church. So I got religion if I didn't get spirituality. And boy, did I ever get a variety of religions. Enough to know that there is that element of spirituality in them, and then there is that overmassing of unconscious behavior. So if you hear me knocking religion, I'm not, because at the basis of religion is people being encouraged to have a meaningful relationship with God. Now, whatever your concept of God is, realize that's your concept that has the opportunity to change, to grow, to expand, to become more refined, to become clearer, to where you then, as the Native Americans, recognize that this was holy ground, that they saw in that spiritual vision that this was Mother Earth. She's a living being, and as a part of that, she is a part of the God alive as our planet. And then as you can, if you have a prayer life, then maybe you want to shift in your prayer life to have it one of recognition, praise, and appreciation instead of begging, beseeching that God do something for you. You see, the fact of the matter is, God will do something for you, but it's conditional. It will be done through you. Okay? So that's how God works. Because God really is aware of all of us. Isn't that a mind blower? Simultaneously, every thought that you're thinking right now, and we're just a small group, God's aware of all of it. And it's all being recorded. It's right there in the book of life. Watch yourself. Well, isn't that the way we've been taught and trained? That you have to be fearfully in the presence of God or in a fearful relationship with God? Only recently, Spirit brought to us a scripture out of the Old Testament, a book that I was just really not that familiar with at all, Isaiah. And the scripture was, He, meaning thou shalt give him perfect peace, meaning God, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth thee. You look at that and you say, what is that saying? Old English. Well, it's basically saying that God within, God without, recognizes that the one who has an awareness that embodies the realization of God in its every moment activity lives in a state of peace, a state of grace because of that choice. You see, it's a choice we make. And the choice then reflects itself as our trust in God, our relationship to God. It used to be that was a part of this great country because on many of the currency bills it said, "In God we trust." When was the last time you heard that said really meaningfully by a politician? Okay, I know I just stepped into almost the fire pit right there. Okay, so please do realize that what we're talking about is relationships and our choosing to improve them so that the improvement registers in the improvement of our life. Okay, two contrasting scenarios. You live in fear, that's what you're generating. That's the relationship you have to God. God as law, God as principle is going to honor you by saying, you believe life is fearful? Well, then here is the result. Fearful consequences. Is that God punishing us? Don't be stupid. Wake up. That's your choice that you're making by living in fear. You step out of fear and you choose to enter into trust. And because God, being the principle of all life and that which works with us through us, then says, you trust in goodness, you trust in love, you trust in health, you trust in well-being. These are then going to manifest to you. And it won't be just like some magic wand, although at times it may appear that way. It's going to be because you're changing your lifestyle to actually match what you are saying you believe. So, this next 10 years are going to be very profound for all of us. None of us knows, perhaps, exactly what's going to come up, but I think most of us are starting to feel, okay, something has been set into motion, and there are those who are going to try to make this motion come to its conclusion to the enslavement of humanity as a race. The other possibility is that you, like me, like many other millions of us on the planet, are waking up and seeing, wait a minute, what's happening here? So on many different levels, we're waking up. And eventually there are those who are going to get together and come together, and in their coming together, make those come together decisions that are going to alter and change what is attempting to be set into motion to where humanity wakes up. Humanity heals. We'll have help. We'll have guidance. How many of you believe in guardian angels? How many of you have met your guardian angels? How many of you know that you have guides? Okay, wonderful. This is a benefit because you see this gives you immediate contact relationship-wise with those beings who live in the other dimensions that superpenetrate this 3D dimension. Because ask, and it shall be answered. Knock, and it shall open. So keep these realizations alive in your awareness so that you choose to call upon your guides, call upon your teachers, call upon those that are here to help you help yourself, and they will do just that. I often, many times in my daily life, just in a moment by moment, I will say, all right, I ask for your presence. I ask for your guidance. I ask for your influence, and I ask for your protection. And then instead of closing my eyes so that I can run into a tree, I realize part of this is my responsibility by choosing to be present and available so that I can then make wiser choices. So thank you for coming and being a part of this. May you find that the rest of your stay here opens you up, and that whatever was that happened that touched you at a conscious level of awakening, you'll ask that it be furthered. You'll ask that you be shown. You'll ask that you be guided. And in whatever ways that are available, we invite you. Please enjoy. Thank you.